Welcome everybody today here for a meeting of Dnipro Hills and joint with Odesa, Best Speakers Club, another great event online with multiple clubs involved. And I'm Eric Helliwell, opening for Nataly today. She's running a little bit late. She'll be joining us shortly. But let's open it up real quick here to see who is new that maybe could introduce themselves. We don't know, haven't seen very much of before. About our guest from Dubai, Suvajit. Can you tell me if I said it right?
Yeah, that is absolutely right. And normally you can use my second name as Roy. So my name is the name is Roy. So anyone can ROY is simple. So you can go with the Roy if required. So I'm new to this to few members, but I have been to in the meetings in a few Ukrainian clubs, so including Odesa and another Chambers club. I have been to online meeting for a few times. So yeah, I am here in the Dubai TGIS Toastmaster Club. I'm a member here. So I'm exploring the clubs of other countries, and I'm very new to this, but still I'm just trying to explore, and I got meet amazing people from Ukraine last few weeks.
Great, fabulous, welcome. And I think everybody else is either a role or a member that we've had. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our Toastmaster of the day, the man from Ireland that has been so gracious to be a member of our club and always is supportive of Ukraine, its causes, and helps us out with all kinds of things. So today he's going to be our Toastmaster of the day. I turn it over to Cluskey, please. Dek, the floor is yours.
Thanks a million, Eric. Thank you. It's lovely to be here. That's terrific. Everything. I'm a bit different to most Toastmasters. I like to run what's called an open meeting. In other words, you can put in if you like, but I would ask you to do the Zoom protocol of stick your hand up and leave your hand up. Don't just open your microphone and speak, please, because Zoom can only handle one voice at a time, and it just makes a mess. So if you want to say anything, just put your hand up like that, and I can see you. I'm on gallery view all the time. Going to be a good meeting. We've got 3 speakers. We've got a load of people that I've got to introduce in a minute. Then we've got 3 evaluators. We've got table topics, which is going to be incredible. Introduced by Sergii Radchenko. And I've been practicing these names all night long. I didn't sleep one wink. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning still saying all the names. But let's get moving and introduce the technical team. And the first person we've got is Dmytro Nazarenko. Did you like that? Who is the timer? Tell us what you're going to do.
Did I like that? Pretty much. Hello, everybody. As you can see, I am your timer for today's summary Dnipro Hills Toastmasters meeting. The forecast for Kiev, where I am now, says that, well, it might rain in a few hours. You won't be able to see it. However, this rain will definitely come as a relief after a few quite warm days, close to hot, actually. However, the drill here is that as I am the timer, I will need to explain the structure of the meeting and remind you of the time frames that both the prepared speakers will have and those participating at the table topic session, which is the part of the meeting where you will be able to give a short impromptu off-the-cuff speech. And of course, it is important that you do not give a very short speech, or and also it's best that you do not spend too much time rambling quite a long time. So the first part of our meeting is the prepared speeches, and we have 3 prepared speakers for today. The agenda says that you will have 5 to 7 minutes. As soon as you are 5 minutes into your speech, you will see this. You will see me on this green background. As soon as you are 6 minutes into your speech, you will see the yellow background. And as soon as you are 7 minutes into your speech, you will see the red background, which is sort of a hint that tells you that you need to start wrapping up. Then comes the evaluation session of those prepared speeches, and the evaluators are given 2 to 3 minutes. So after 2 minutes, you see the green background. After 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you see the yellow background, and after 3 minutes, you will see the red background.
Thank you very much, Dmytro. You're way over time. 1 minute, please. Are you done?
Oh, okay, so let me finish. Let me finish, and let me finish 1 more minute. And the last that we have is, of course, the table topic session, where you will be able to give a 1 to 2 minute short improvised speech. So after 1 minute, you will see the green background. After 1.5 minutes, you see the yellow background, and after 2 minutes, you see the red background. That's all for me currently. Enjoy this meeting, and I'll probably raise my hand as well so that you will all be able to see me.
Dmytro, that is the longest timer introduction I have ever heard in my life. You hold the record now. So the R counter is Vitaliy, Blokhin, and I would ask 1 minute, please. Tell us what you're going to do.
Thank you, Dick. As an accounter, I'm obliged to listen how you speak and write down all your filler words and crutch sounds like R, O, so, all those sounds which we usually use when we don't know what to tell. But instead of this, it's better to keep silent. Also, according to Odesa's best speaking club rules, I have to provide you with a joke. So the short joke of the day is, Coco Chanel said that each woman should have a little black dress in her wardrobe. Why? Because statistically, women live longer than men. Thank you, and Beck, please. The stage
Lovely,
is yours.
lovely. That's wonderful. Big man, come on. Nobody's applauding. Okay, you have to applaud. Alicia, why are you not applauding? You've got to applaud. When you applaud, you get a better performance from the performers. Always remember that. So, Alicia, by the way, would you please make sure that everybody is muted right through the meeting, please, except when they're speaking. Thank you very much. And the grammarian is Liudmyla. Kushch, in 1 minute, tell us what you're going to do, please. Breaking up a bit.
Well, yes. Is my sound all right? Because I'm from outside? Yeah. So, well, breaking up. Terribly sorry, but I'll try to do my best. Really honored to be your grammarian today. And before I prepare you the word of the day, actually 2 words, which would be Irish slang, so you would enjoy it and our Toastmaster would enjoy it a lot. So let me tell you about my responsibilities. I'm a part of a team, of evaluation team, and my main responsibility today to watch your grammar, to notice what good usage of grammar you're doing and what's wrong, and then give my report at the end of the meeting, because evaluation part helps everyone of participants and newcomers and guests to do their best and really to grow. Believe me, as an English teacher. So today I'm doing perfectly my job. What's more, your ability to be a professional speaker doesn't consist only of telling your speech which you prepared and learned by heart, but also it's about your ability to insert new words during your speech, even if you haven't planned it. So, as a grammarian, I'm coming with my word of the day. Actually, I prepare 2 words. They are really simple. That's why I think it will be very easy to use them. If it's possible to demonstrate my first word with the meaning, which is grand, okay. If the team can demonstrate, if not, I'm just describe it.
I already demonstrated. Don't
So
worry.
this
Liudmyla, turn off your video also if you could.
now, yeah, is it better?
Yes.
Yes, perfectly. So first word of the day is grand. It's typical Irish language. It means great, but there's a tricky thing. Depending on the tone of your voice and situation of usage, the grand meaning in Irish, how it's grand to absolutely dread.
I think we lost her again.
Yeah.
We got no sound. We got no sound, unfortunately. Would you mind if we just went on to the next item, please?
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Now we can,
Yes.
yeah. On you go, on you go.
Oh, okay. Well, in 10 minutes, I'll be having Wi-Fi. Terribly sorry. So the first word is grand, which can mean anything from very good, saying it's grand, to absolutely dreadful. It's grand. And the and the second phrase, do you hear me, guys?
Liudmyla, may I suggest that we'll have a little section later on when you can explain all this, acting the maggot and all those things. I can explain them as well if you like. But let's move on.
So you can read it.
It's very, very hard for us to understand you at the moment. Okay, so I'll call you in about 10 minutes. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes.
Lovely.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I will be able in 10 minutes. Thank
Lovely.
you.
Thank you
thank you very
much. And a big round of applause. Come on. Nobody's applauding. That was wonderful. And that was grand, by the way. That was grand. Grand actually does not mean dreadful. That was a mistake. I'm Irish, so I should know. But grand means everything in the world is grand to an Irishman. An Irishman wakes up in the morning with the intention of making everybody he or she meets happy. That is the Irish attitude. We all want to make you happy. So everything in our life is grand. So everybody in Ireland says, ah, sure, that's grand. And we don't pronounce the TH. Doesn't exist in our vocabulary. So we say dat, D-A-T, that's grand. And tree fellas, it's T-R-E-E, it's not T-H-R-E-E, tree fellas. So that's how you know an Irishman like me. I've taught myself to say TH, by the way. So let's get on. Eric, may I ask you, would you mind taking over as the performance expert, please? Perhaps until Nataly arrives. Would that be all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's lovely. So may I introduce now, in a time of, I don't know, everybody's going mad with the times this morning. Nobody's paying any attention to the times. But let's go over to the performance expert, who is going to be Eric Helliwell. Eric.
All right. Again, welcome everybody. So this is a new role introduced by our new president coming in, Olha. We're trying it out for these couple of sessions first. And what it's different than general evaluation is that we're really looking for more of your stage presence. It was kind of designed for a live meeting, so it's kind of new with online, but I'll be looking not so much in the content of your speeches, but in the way that you present. And we'll kind of separate that out a little bit on the evaluation. So let's leave it kind of somewhat nebulous for right now, and we'll see how it goes. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Wonderful. Come on, applaud, 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 applaud. That's lovely. Oh, you want to say
Nataly.
something, Suvajit? Yes, yes, Roy.
Yeah, hi, sir. I just want to know one thing. Do I have to introduce the speaker as a evaluator? Is it a part of there? Because we do it here a lot.
Some clubs do, some clubs don't. What's the feeling of the meeting? Do you want the evaluator? Licia, what do you think, Licia?
If Suvai want, of course, we can give it one additional minute for him, but it's not obligatory. In our club, we don't use it.
Well, in our club, we always have the evaluator do the Eric.
I was going to say Nataly just showed up. Maybe she wants to also just introduce her role. So
okay, Nataly, would you like to introduce your role as a performance expert? Nataly?
Of course. Hello, everyone. And yes, I would like to introduce that role. I'm the second person to introduce that role in our club. And so what is this role about? This role is about how to appear at the stage the way that you are attractive and you grab attention of the audience. And it is about appearing at the stage the way you look good and you move good. And last week we had this role represented by Olga, and it was offline, and online meetings have their special needs and their special details, talking about gestures, talking about using stage. Usually people tend to just relax during the online meetings, just switch off their cameras or just sit like that in front of the camera so as gestures aren't visible and they aren't visible. The best way to look good during your online performance, because it is still performance, we are still performing at the stage. Nevertheless, it is virtual stage. So the best way is to stand up and to prepare for that before prepare your virtual stage before the meeting. Or you might do it like I have just done. So I just pushed the camera on a particular distance so as my gestures are visible and I can use the stage. I can even move in the screen and look more lively. So what am I going to do today? I'm going to look at you, at how you are performing, and give you some pieces of advice at the end of the meeting on how to improve it. And another thing is eye contact. It is hard to maintain it. However, it is possible when you look actually into the camera, not only at you or not always at the timer. Having said all of that, I would like to wish everyone a great meeting, and please pay attention to the way you move at the camera and where the camera is situated. Having said all of that, I pass control back to our Toastmaster of the day.
Really, look at that applause, Nataly. They love you. They love you. They absolutely love you. That's gonna be good. Here's a little bit of advice. You can write this down. If you want to know about eye contact and how to do Zoom, how to do everything, go onto YouTube or go onto Google and Google Michael Caine, C-A-I-N-E, film acting. Michael Cain Film Acting Masterclass. 57 minutes of the greatest advice ever given in history. It's legendary. So Michael Caine Acting Class Masterclass. Okay. So the feeling is that I should introduce the speakers. Is that okay with everybody, or would you like the evaluator to introduce? What do you think, Eric? What do you think, Eric?
I
There
think
you go.
let's. Right, I think we're moving on to the speakers now. You
That's
can
right,
go
yes.
into that.
Would you
Yeah.
like, yeah, would you like the evaluator to introduce, or would you like me to introduce?
I think
It is better that if you introduce.
No,
if
please,
you,
please put your hand up to speak, please. Natalie?
Our evaluators normally do not introduce the speakers
Okay,
in the
that's fine.
meetings.
Thank you very much.
So,
So let's get on to the speakers. Let's get on to the speakers. The first speaker we have is doing or performing the Engaging Humor Pathway Level 2. It's project 1. The project is entitled Connect with Your Audience. So the speaker is Oleksandr Myronchuk. Title is Fake It Till You Make It. With the title of Fake It Till You Make It, Oleksandr Myronchuk.
Imagine it's a bright, beautiful day. You're at a private airport, strolling past sleek jets. Now, picture yourself walking up to the pilots and asking, can I tag along on your private jet? It's a perfect way to test who's friendly and who has excellent security. If you're too persistent, you might even end up in impromptu game jet or jail. This is a true story about one daring experimenter who set for himself an unbelievable, untried, and probably the most absurd social challenge. Why? To attempt to prove a theory. If you have enough confidence, can you fake it till you make it? Success can be viewed as achieving a specific result. We performed the action and we got the result. But what happens if we don't get the result? Is that the end? Do we need to give up? Absolutely not. Instead, we can try again. We can try to find success. Every attempt is progress, even if it doesn't immediately lead to expected outcome. Our protagonist, driven by curiosity and a desire to challenge societal norms, began his experiment by approaching the owner and asking directly if he could go on a flight with them. These people had probably never encountered such audacity before. It was a daring and somehow ridiculous proposition, but it was rooted in profound philosophy, breaking through the barriers of conventional thinking and daring to ask for what most people wouldn't even dream of. On the first day, our hero faced a barrage of rejections. Each no was a reminder of odds stacked against him. However, he didn't see these rejections as failures. Instead, he saw them as valuable lessons and path of the journey. The beauty of his method lay on his resilience and his ability to reinterpret what many would see as failure into opportunities for growth and learning. He embraced the idea that each attempt was a chance at success, and decided to tweak his approach. He realized that a direct request might be too blunt, so he refined his proposal. The new strategy was to offer himself as delightful company, a charming guest who would bring a red wine and engage in conversation to the flight. This change in approach was not just a tactical move, but also a reflection of his understanding of human nature and power of compelling narrative. Success and a bit of cleverness worked for his favor. After several more rejections, he finally found a jet owner who was intrigued by his boldness and uniqueness of proposal. This moment of triumph was not just about securing a seat on private jet, but about the validation of an idea that boldness, creativity, and persistence can open doors that seem permanently closed. Sometimes we set limits for ourselves that don't really exist. We just need to view the situation differently. Our protagonist's journey teaches us valuable lessons. Success is not just about the end result, but about the willingness to try, fail, and try again. It's about redefining our perceptions and pushing boundaries of what we believe is possible. So, dare to try your boldest ideas and rest assured that at some point they will come to fruition. Remember, every attempt is a step closer to success, and sometimes all it takes is a bit of audacity and grunt to see things from a new perspective. Back to you.
And there we are. It is extremely hot here in the UK. I've just taken my sweater off because it is extremely hot. I've got the wrong earpiece on. There we are, around there. That was a lovely speech, and it came in very much on time. So now, if you go to the chat, you will see that Licia has put a lovely link there. And if you press the link, you will go to the Google Forms, and you can leave a lovely feedback for that last speech in exactly 1 minute timer. Would you give me a time for 1 minute?
Yeah.
Feedback
1
time,
minute.
please.
1 minute starts now.
Put your hand up, please, if you want to speak. Thank you very much. Zoom protocol, I'm mad on it. In business, we have to do it all the time. Thank you very much. That's the 1 minute. So, Natalie, could you advise me, please? I've got 2 names down for the next speech. Which name is it, please, Natalie?
Tetiana.
I have the second name is Voya Zorrocha.
Tetiana Kiforishyna. The next speaker is Tetiana Kiforishyna.
Yeah, I've got 2 names, so that's fine. So the next speech is 5 to 7 minutes, and it's from the Persuasive Influence Pathways, Level 1. The project is project number 2, writing a speech with purpose. The speaker is Tetiana Kiforishyna with the title Ivan Franko, Art and Life. With the title Ivan Franko, Art and Life, please welcome Tetiana Kiforishyna.
Hello, dear audience. Today I would like to tell you about one of my favorite poets. He is my favorite not because he had countless girls who were madly in love with him. It's not because he was Ukrainian superstar, but simply because I love his poetry very much. Still, except his poetry, he is very useful to Ukraine, very useful for our memory, and I would like to say very useful for all the people who like art, who like to read good books, and who like Ukrainian history and Ukrainian identity. Why? I would like to say it next. He was born, Ivan Franko was born in Lviv village, Naguyevichi, and his father was more than 50 old years. Imagine. So if somebody wants to have a baby after 14 years or after even 50, it would be okay. And he was born, and his mother was younger, but still he did everything to be a very good pupil from his birth. So he was absolutely devoted to studying. And when some people don't understand him or maybe even dismiss him, he went to the forest. There he had his maybe spirit, because sometime he told about himself that he is forest person, and someday he was telling that he was a village person. Why village person? Because he know how to help mother and father to keep everything what should be kept in the village in order. But nevertheless, his father died and his mother died. He just left with his father-in-law. And you know, his father-in-law was helping him also, was helping him to do what? To study. So he studied almost all his life. And he liked to do it very much. But he liked Ukrainian history and thoughts about Ukrainian identity and thoughts about Ukraine who would be just Ukraine without any nasty or any bad people around her who like to dismiss Ukraine. That's why his life, I would say, was dedicated to show how Ukraine is in reality. And what he had shown in reality, that Ukraine is a Europe. That's right, Ukraine is a Europe because we had stars who are showing our history to other people, and who shows our identity to other people. Why? It's simply because when he got a master degree, or even more, like he was like more than master, like he didn't get it in Ukraine, he had it in Vienna, it's Austria. And he didn't get a job at Lviv University, but now this is Lviv University of Ivan Franko. Nevertheless, when he was young, he was deeply in love with the daughter of a priest, and she was also in love with him. But still, they didn't get the marriage because he was arrested. And it broke his life for some period until he met another love of his life. It was Polish woman, but she was ill, and she just told him, "I'm sorry, I love you, but I cannot like give your life to me because you would be unhappy." And she left him. Of course, it influenced on him. That's why many years later, he was in love with another Polish woman. this Polish woman or girl, she was just working on the post office, but he was just a lady who was really beautiful, but she was working on the post office and she denied him. She thought that he is not for her because his money are not so big like she wish, probably, or maybe who knows why she denied him. Still, many years later, he told about her that she liked to manipulate him a lot. Still, if we want to know more, we should just read his poems and his books. They are really beautiful. What did he do to Ukraine? He was the first man who began to wear embroidered shirt every day. I think this is really great because not many people are wearing embroidered shirts even now, but still this is a good tradition. And he was a man feminist. If you would like to be in love or maybe but also in marriage with men feminists, don't do it, because he had 4 children and wonderful wife, but all that he does for Ukraine, it was great, but all the housework did his wife, Olga Horozhinska. She was really wonderful woman because when he was able to be in love and married, he did it with 2 options. He said that his lady should be only Ukrainian and should have proper education. And she had proper education. She was a feminist. And I would like to say that many people, many women were in love with Ivan Franko because he really was talented. And one girl, it was, she had a pseudonym that her pseudonym was Uliana, but her name was Yulia Schneider. And this woman also was in love with Ivan Franko. But he had 4 children and he had Mikhailo Grushevsky as a neighbor. And Mikhailo Grushevsky often told about him that I like his talent, but I don't like the noise which did his dogs and all he had by me, because I need to have serenity. I would like to say that Ivan Franko was very good poet and very talented, but still he had many other things. Like he had a very good way of life because he was doing sports. He did a lot for Ukraine, and also he did a lot for the world, because one, he's paying for his work. For example, in Poland and in Austria and in Germany was like one pay for his month of work in Ukraine. So I think that if people in Poland, Austria, and Germany are cherish our Ivan Franko those times, and I think some people even this time, we should cherish Ivan Franko more and know about him much more. Thank you for your attention.
Licia, you're not applauding. What's wrong with you? My goodness me, there's a girl who's poured her heart out, Tetiana. She poured everything out, and you didn't applaud. My goodness me. I wouldn't like to have you as an audience. But here we are in the middle of summer. It's lovely and it's grand. Everything is grand. Everything is grand. Would you please follow the link that Licia has given you, and please give feedback, for you have 1 minute, please. Thank you very much, Dmytro. Ah, sure, that's grand. And Eric, on you go.
So we said we were going to give Liudmyla, Lucy, a little time to explain those terms. I haven't heard people using them as much. Maybe either now or before the table topic session, we can give her a minute to go over that.
Let's do it now. So
Okay.
let's go
Oh,
over
yes.
to Lucy, Irish, Ukraine. What a name.
Oh, hello, everyone again. So
that's
I
better.
should explain my responsibility and the word of the day one more time. Am I right? Yes.
Yeah, I think we
Well-
got the responsibility. The words were a little bit, we needed some more detail on that because you really broke up. Yeah.
Okay.
We got grand. We got grand.
Yeah,
Because
you got
I use
grand.
I use grand all the time.
I'm happy to have you as Toastmasters, dear Jack. My pleasure. Yes. And there is a second phrase which I prepared for you guys. Yeah. Let me, yes, first grand, and second one, playing the maggot. Acting the maggot, sorry. But there is also, well, playing the maggot. So the maggot, what is the maggot? If some of you went fishing, you know about those little worms we use for fishing. So maggot is that thing. And acting the maggot, one of the most interesting Irish slang phrases, means to fool and to mess around. I can compare it with the phrase, are you kidding me? Are you acting the maggot? Am I right, dear Deck? Yes, to fool someone, acting the maggot. So acting like you are a worm for fishing. Actually playing a fool. So acting the maggot would be my second phrase. And if it's possible, try to use it, as well as using grand, as much as possible.
Is that it? That's lovely. Thank you very, very, very much. That was lovely. Of course, acting the maggot is really explained as you're a powerful Egypt. Eric would know that. You're a powerful Egypt, which is a great word in Ireland. But everybody's acting the maggot today because it's summertime and we're enjoying the summer. And we're going to be talking about summer a little more in a few minutes. But let's get on to speaker number 3. We've got plenty of time because everybody's been very good with the time, Dmytro, haven't they? They've been terrific. Absolutely. So let's get on with the special project. And the title of the special project is coming up after I introduce, in a time of 5 to 7 minutes, Vladimír Záhradník, with the title of Toastmasters Travel Agency. With the title of Toastmasters Travel Agency, please give a huge welcome to Vladimír Záhradník.
Ladies and gentlemen, and dear Toastmasters, today is almost exactly a year since I started my role of a division director. I was appointed also to be an area director, but I didn't like one thing: the mandatory area visits. I'm a busy man and I didn't want to travel a lot. So my predecessor, Andrei, told me, Vlad, you will do it. You will be a perfect division director because you will just go to those meetings and you will do this corporate stuff there, which you are good at. And you can do some other activities besides that, like coding or whatever you do besides your computer. However, as I found out, it wasn't certainly a truth. In the past year, I traveled a lot. Really a lot. And what I'm about to present is just a glimpse of what I experienced in the past year. Not all my travels were Toastmasters related, but even if I decided to talk just about Toastmasters, this presentation would be at least 30 minutes long. but I experienced many things. I have many stories to tell, and I really appreciate this year, and I hope the upcoming year will be at least so much transformative as this one. My very first meeting as a Toastmaster, as a division director, was on September 2023 in the residential weekend in Prague. And when I come there, it was on Friday. We started with this gala opening, gala dinner. You can see a lot of people everywhere, maybe 50, maybe more. And I instantly connected with a lady from Lyon in France, who was actually an American. So she was really talkative. However, after being in the presence of so many people, I'm still an introvert. After an hour, I had to go out to breathe some fresh air because it was too much social for me. And that was the moment when, instead of getting to know 50 or so people, I got to know Piotr Chimko, just one person, but I had the chance to talk with him on a deeper level, which I always love. And this, by the way, was the view on the National Theatre of Prague, which gave me an idea I will talk about shortly. For the upcoming Saturday, we had a lot of workshops. I met people, Toastmasters, as I mentioned, but I thought to myself that I am with Toastmasters for almost 3 days. They can live without me for a few hours. And so I decided to go to an opera instead of having another social fun event with them. And that's the State Opera House in Prague. That was my very first experience being in a metropolitan city on a big opera show. I really enjoyed that, and it is something I will remember for the rest of my life. This, what are you seeing right now? It's not Prague anymore. We've moved to Budapest, where I was in March, because I knew the district conference will be held there in May, and there will be probably no time to do the sightseeing. And this view, I actually visited from the top of the Gellert Hill. I went there 3 times during 2 days. I love the place. And of course, I had to do some ship traveling. You can see the Buda side on the left side and the Pest side on the right side. And of course, as a Toastmaster, I visited a Toastmasters event. It was called Saturday Toastmasters Club. It's the club where our district director is a member. They were celebrating their, I don't know, 5th anniversary. And I had a birthday cake, all this stuff. And even I was part of the aria contest as a jury. All can be done in any city where Toastmasters is held. And of course, more sightseeing. However, several days later, I received this really intriguing photo, and you will recognize it really, really briefly. Nataly was in Budapest. We were apart maybe 2 weeks from us. And after I got back in May, so several long days later, I had to make one photo which resembles this. So here it is. In the district conference, you already saw my photos because I posted extensively in the chat group. However, being there in person was a completely new experience. It was my very first district conference at all. And I enjoyed especially this camera rig there because I love the techniques. And what was interesting, as I was a host of a humorous speech contest, I had this view which normal audience doesn't see. I could see from the something which normally the organizers see, and I enjoy this really, really much. However, again, as on the residential weekend in Prague, I thought to myself, there is a lot of Toastmasters going on. They can survive a few hours without me. So I visited the State Opera of Hungary, and this is their national theater. So I skipped the gala and went there instead. It was a fun experience, but this is for another talk because I would talk for hours about the performance, which wasn't great at all. But anyway, whether it's good or a bad performance, I wanted an experience, and I won't forget as people were leaving the show during the performance. Is this unforgettable indeed? Instead of being in the opera show, my colleagues were enjoying the grand district conference. So you don't see me there because I was someplace else. And with that, we have a motto that Toastmasters is a place where leaders are made. Let me add to that. It's a place where stories are made, or I even heard where couples are made. Back to you, dear moderator.
That was very special, Vladimir. I love the visuals. Love it. I'm a visuals man, and my goodness me, those opera houses. Ooh. But okay. Do you know what the views are like here in the UK? Roses all over the place. We have a fantastic summer for roses this year. My garden is full of roses and I absolutely adore them. But if you've got any thoughts on summer, don't be afraid to give us your thoughts on summer because it's the theme of the meeting today. We now get on to the Google form. 1 minute, please, Mr. Timer. And the link is in chat from Nisia. 1 minute, please, to give your thoughts to Vladimir. That's the 1 minute up. Everybody happy? Everybody's had enough time? We're exactly at 1 o'clock, so we're spot on time, Dmytro. My goodness me, you're doing well. That's terrific. So now we get on to the evaluations. And we have a very special evaluator for the first person, a visitor all the way from TGIS Toastmasters Club. It's Suvajit Roy Sharma, and he is going to give us the evaluation for Oleksandr's speech, and it's going to last exactly 3 minutes. Over to you.
Good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters and the guests. Hope you all are doing well. So today, my targeted speaker, Oleksandr, was presenting his Project 1 Level 2 speech of his Pathway Engaging Humor with an interesting speech title that was Fake It Until You Make It. That was really wonderful, and I would say that particular line is enough for anyone to get hooked with the whole speech. And he has done a wonderful job and has done everything he could do to make that title exactly follow the his speech. Now, he has an excellent eye contact, I must say, with a wonderful hand gesture and the body language. And also, beside this, he had a wonderful voice to present the whole thing. I would definitely say that he has practiced this whole speech a lot, not just once. He has done multiple times, and we can see the practice in his speech totally throughout the speech. He has not stopped anywhere, even if he has just a little bit bump here and there. He just could easily manage come back on the speech very fast. Beside this, he has used a wonderful story of Johnny, who has a wonderful plan, I would say. And he was not afraid that if he present this fact to anyone, and everyone will shout at him like, "Why are you acting as maggot?" Then also he keep on trying to his quest to get into one plane of one private jet, and to have a wonderful time with them. He keep on trying this, and at the end he succeed. So it was a good speech to connect with everyone, because I believe that everyone have a little bit of struggle here and there in their life, or most of the part we are struggling to get what we want. And this is a speech with a wonderful message that if you keep on trying, even the thing which is not very common to you, it is achievable. Beside this, I would say a few correction for him would be, when he has opened the speech, he could have add that title the beginning only, because the story was what he was presenting at the beginning was I feel that the speech title should have been presented at the starting itself. And his pathway is engaging humor. I would suggest him to put a little bit of humor here and there throughout the speech, and that would be wonderful. Beside that, I would say this whole speech was, I just want to say one thing about the speech, that grand. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Oh, that's grand. You're a powerful Egypt. You're a powerful Egypt, my man. That's just grand. So let's move on swiftly. Another 3 minutes, another evaluation. And this evaluation is for Tetiana's speech. And the evaluation is going to be given by, and I have to concentrate very carefully here, Sergii Golovatyuk.
Hello, dear Toastmasters. Hello, Tetiana. It was a big pleasure to hear your speech. And I always impressed your view in front of camera. You always had a little black dress, as Vitaliy joked today. You have that special hat, this or another one, and red lips. So I should, our performance expert will say about it, because you look perfect in front of camera, and it's pleasure to see how you look on the screen. Another good impression, it's you're confident in front of during your presentation. The purpose of this project is to make a speech with a purpose, and another purpose is to make speech that have good structure and good presentation, and it should work good combination for making your purpose. And you did it grunge, because all of components were beautiful. First of all, you were very positive. You have beautiful smile and a good sense of humor. You have a very grunge eye contact. And only one thing I miss, it's your gestures, because I can see only your head and any another part of your body. Please stay a little bit far from screen and camera. In that case, we can see more in your movement. But another way, you use very active mimic. And in that way, your mimic was best, as usual, speakers have. So it's very good. And you have had very clear speech and emphasizes on important things. You have very clear structure with introduction, main part, and conclusion. But I have only one tip in this part for you, because you maybe should add some transition in your main part because it was like acting the maggot in the main part because it was a very big quantity of small patches. But if you add maybe bigger parts and make some transition, it's presenting much better. And another one thing that I can say about structure, it's about resume and about conclusion. You add some interesting facts in conclusion, but in conclusion, the better make some resume about facts that you remind us in main parts. So it's interesting have new facts in the resume, but it's distract us from your conclusions. So for me, it's very interesting, good presenting speech with good purpose, and you achieve purpose to inspire us to know more about Ivan Franko and his life. And especially I love your sense of humor. It was not really life of Ivan Franko, it was feminist look on life Ivan Franko. So it was very interesting speech. Thank you.
Sergii, that was masterful. That was masterful. A lovely evaluation, very detailed. That's the way we like them. So let's get on to the last of the evaluations. And this one is going to be given by the marvelous man who is Eric Helliwell. Yay!
Thank you very much. And thank you to Vladimír for giving us a great insight into what his experience was like for the year. I think I would classify this speech as a chronology speech and with deep visuals, which gave an immersive experience to it. So I felt very comfortable watching it. I liked the way that he set himself up too for the presentation. He had a nice backdrop, which was calming, which did not distract us from the material, because when he's going to have visuals, you don't want anything too busy in terms of where you're going to be focused on. So his movement and all of that was not as important in this type of a speech because he had these visuals that took us on this chronological walkthrough. And I think he started out, I liked the intro of the speech where he talked about the challenges he was going to take on with doing this and, you know, all of the work that was going to be. But he said, how can I play the maggot a little bit too over here and introduce a fun aspect to this and to make this more of a life journey than just a job or just a commitment to do these particular tasks. And he had some really grand photos of these beautiful buildings, architecture from Budapest and Prague. Just the beauty of it alone was very nice. It was kind of taking us in. And he really gave us a glimpse into his life for that year. So, and I liked also the personalization with Nataly being one right in that same place that he was in a few days. That was kind of a nice personalization as well to really bring it back to Toastmasters and the meeting of the Toastmasters. What I would say, a couple of things to do a little more of. When you have these chronologies, what can make them interesting is to put some real deep highlights there. So like maybe a best and a worst, you know, so you did a little bit of that with the walkout from the Budapest opera. And I would also, but I would kind of dramatize that more. And this would be another little point, put a little more drama in the voice on those inflections. Your voice was a little bit paced all throughout, which was good. It was interesting in that, but it would be like, and now to one of the worst things that I had to endure was this, you know, and just kind of put that. So maybe your best and worst would have helped there. And then maybe on the conclusion, I would have done a little bit of advice to, you know, potential new takers of this role. So here's what I'd recommend, how you kind of approach your thinking and that. And and just sort of summarize it together. So overall, though, a great job, very entertaining, and we hope to hear more from you going forward. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
That was good. Natalie, good Lord, you didn't give one single clap. And Eric, I would advise you, when the R counter comes on, I would go out and have a cup of tea. I honestly would. You're a terrible man. Terrible. You're a powerful agent, as we say. Powerful agent. Well, that's lovely. That's the end of the evaluations now. We've got 2 minutes before the next section. And I'd like to tell you about what the summer is like here in the UK. We've had the solstice, the summer solstice, which means that it's now proper summer in the UK. The weather is lovely. The sun, we're having a bit of a heat wave at the moment, which is terrific. The pollen count is through the roof. So anybody who suffers from hay fever is having a terrible time at the moment. And we have an organization here in the UK called Stop Oil. They're trying to stop people using oil. And we have a one of the most famous heritage sites in the world called Stonehenge, which goes back to, I think, 5,000 years BC. And the idiots from Stop Oil, you may have seen it on the news, they defaced it by spraying orange powder from fire extinguishers all over Stonehenge. What idiots. Dmytro is nodding his head. And Eric wants to say something.
What was made a point by some comedian in the US. Do they actually know what these paints and stuff are made out of? You know, so it kind of defeats the purpose.
Really? I didn't know that. Oh, that's amazing. Well, what a load of idiots. They cause an awful lot of disruption in this country. I don't know whether they do in the States or in other countries of the world, but they don't get any respect from anybody. They just create an awful lot of nuisance. And to deface Stonehenge, as I say, which has been there from 5,000 BC, absolute idiots. But let's get on now to the part of the meeting where you're either terrified or you love it. I personally love it. But there we are, Irish people talk an awful lot. We talk for the whole world in Ireland. That's what we do. So let's get on to the table topics. And the table topics is going to be presented and explained to you in full by Sergii Radchenko.
Yes, thank you, Dek. Hello, everybody. The summer is here. And first of all, why the summer is here? Because, as you know, I celebrate my birthday in the first day of the June, first day of the summer. I begin the summer, and I also love this time because the summer is very important in Odesa. And first of all, I remind you the rules of our session. You had two options during our meeting, during this session. The first option, you need to answer my question. And the second option, you may be the evaluator of the participants who wants to ask in the question. You can choose some first option or second option, or create some interesting performance during all of this part. And the time of the first option is during 1 minute and 2 minutes, and the second option only 1 minute. But I think it's a good time to improvise. Also, I remind you the two words of the day, acting the maggot. And the second word is grant. Please use this word during this session. And also, I remind you, watch the signals for our timer meeting Nazarenko in first option and in second option. And I prepare for you 7 interesting questions. Why 7? Because I think it's like day in the week, and also it's like a ray in the sunshine, or sign. I invite you on this stage, and especially we need two volunteers, or I choose some persons. And who wants to be the first? Who wants to be the volunteer, or I choose some? Yes, Leos, I can see you. Could you choose some number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. What's the number you choose?
Number 5.
Number 5. Okay. The question for you: why you might hate summer? Why you might hate summer? Leos, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Sergii, for calling me for this wonderful topic, for presenting me this wonderful topic. First of all, the place I'm standing right now, that name can be enough that why I should hate the summer. It's crossing 50 degrees centigrade today. Yesterday, it was 49 with the fog all over the place. Okay, so I'm standing here, Dubai, Middle East. So there is no reason that you can love summer over here. We officially start summer when it's crossed 45 degrees. So if you just go out, your skin will automatically feast, and it will feel like your all the water content in your body is going to vaporize within few minutes. So that's the main reason of the hardship of the Middle Eastern people are facing every day. And beside that, I would say summer comes with a lot of other things, such as here specifically the sandstorm. And in my country back, they comes with a lot of diseases. So these are all things I can remember right now for the perfect reason for hating the summer. But everything which comes with a little bit of the negative side is bring a lot of things with them as well. In the same way, I would like to give it a little bit of touch why I can love summer a little bit, because everywhere, or most of the Asian countries, this brings a lot of fruits like mango. It can be jackfruit. It all grows up in the summer itself. So beside that part, I really don't like summer much because there's no reason for it. Stage is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leos. Who wants to evaluate this speech, or I invite someone?
I don't know if Ilios wanted to speak, do us or evaluate. I'm not sure, but we can ask him. He's got his hand up.
I am volunteering as the topic speaker.
Okay, speaker. All right, so Liudmyla wants to evaluate.
Liudmyla, okay. You can evaluate
Yes.
Leo's speech. The floor is yours.
Yes. Thanks a lot for giving me opportunity to evaluate. I love doing evaluation, actually. First thing I noticed, despite of the overwhelming heat, the voice of our speaker was really optimistic, and he was kind of charming the audience, which is really grand. He gave his reasons why he should hate summer, which is also good. What I missed, so using the words of the day, at least grand, because you were talking about fruit, about variety of fruit in your region, dear speaker. But what I noticed and what I was paying attention while you were doing evaluation, your grammar is rather good, and it's been a pleasure listening to you. I would like to hear, maybe to recommend you to work more on a speech structure, even while you are doing a short speech. Just that's it. But thanks a lot that despite the overwhelming heat, you sound so optimistic and giving your reasons about why we should love summer. Thanks a lot. Wish you success.
Thank you. Thank you, Lucy. And I also remind you what your question, it's not only performance. you need to use some structure with opening, with body, and with conclusion. And also, it is your personal story. It will be very nice for all of the audience. It will be nice for you because your life, your personal story is very good and very brilliant. Who wants to be the next person who choose the next question or next?
Elios
Me.
has got his hand up.
Again?
Ilios. My name Ilios.
Again, or he was?
My name is Ilios.
Elios.
Or you can just call me Iti to make it easier.
Evans wants to be again the table topic participant.
Elios wants to be a speaker. Give him a number. Let him
Speaker.
pick a number.
Yes, of course. What's the number of you choose?
1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. What's the number? 1?
1. Yes.
The question is, what does summer mean to you? What does summer means to you, Elios?
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, what does summer mean to you? Well, it is a grand season of all. Some of us are waiting for it, especially if you are in football. Summer is the best transfer. Well, if you don't know football, soccer. If you are having a loving football club, you will expecting your club to invite or to recruit new talents to the club. And the biggest transaction is always happen in the summer transfer. But if you're asking me, what does it mean for me? Well, as a football lover, I am expecting that my club, my favorite, is hiring the best talent all over the world, including the management, the coach, and hiring youngsters to get a better regeneration for the club itself. And sometimes, I don't know, either the coach is acting as the maggot or the management is acting the maggot grandly, that we as the lover of the club football feel like we cannot give our voices, we cannot give our support to them. And yes, again, maybe it's not related to most of us here, but if you are a very hardcore football club fans, summer transfer definitely means so much to you. And yes, there are some certain summer transfer record breaker that includes money on it. Imagine if you have so much money for it, you can hire the best footballer in the world. Back to you, BTM.
Thank you, Elios. I also like play football. I also like watch football. And who wants to like evaluate the Elios speech? Who is this brave man or brave woman? Dmitry, yes,
Message.
Who wants to be? Yes, Maciej, you can evaluate the Elios speech.
I don't think we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, we cannot hear you.
Okay, could you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
better.
Okay. I'm still new to this headphones and something wrong with settings. Okay, as I understand the rules of this meeting, because I'm here for the first time. Thanks, Luda, for inviting me here, for giving me link. Shortly, my impression was that was grand. That was brilliant because you haven't expected the question. So you took all the speech to your own yard very quickly, connecting the question with your passion, connecting the summer with transfer season in football. So that was brilliant. That was grand move. Talking. I'm not the English teacher. I'm not the English language specialist, so I won't bother you much about, pronunciation, grammar, and structure and stuff. But what I like also was liveliness of that of your speech. Was humor, was energy. You traded us your passion about that, and really speaking, honestly and frankly, woke me up with that. So yeah, that was great job, and by no way you were not acting like a maggot. That was pure you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maciej. Thank you for your evaluation. And who wants to be the next speaker? Who wants to choose some interesting question? Maybe it's one of the girls, Olga or Tetiana. Who wants to be the next?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Olga, can you choose some new number? 2, 3, 5, 6, 7?
Okay, I will go with 3.
3, okay. What do you think about this phrase, the summer in his soul or the summer in his heart? The floor is yours.
The summer is in his heart. What is an interesting phrase to demonstrate the person that is cheerful, that is energetic, that is kind and lovely. And I believe that every person has summer in his heart. Everybody can share the best energy that people can experience in this world and can share this energy with everybody, give everybody some piece of love. So guys, I encourage everybody to find something that you can use as the soul for yourself, as the soul for just enjoying every moment in your life. And I wish everybody to share this experience with others. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga. And who wants to be the evaluator of Olga? Yes, Tetiana. Tetiana, I'll give you the word. Tetiana, the evaluator of Olga's speech. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Olga, for this wonderful performance. I would like to say that the question was, I would like to say, more hard than easy. And you did your job perfectly well, because you had a wonderful idea and you just put arguments to us, which can help us really appreciate this idea and appreciate your answer. Because while talking about winter in heart, or maybe another season in heart, it's easier to find the really answer, because summer in heart, personally for me, I cannot find out any questions. So for me, it would be probably hard question. But you did it really well, and I think you had a nice arguments, and I think you have a like logical thinking. So thank you for that. It was really nice.
Thank you, Tetiana. And I remind you use the words of the day, acting them a god and grand. And I think it helps you in your speech. And my last question for you, because time is very important part of our meeting. And who wants to be the last but not least speaker and choose some number?
Let me try.
Yes, of course, you can try. Tetiana,
7.
We have 2,
Okay.
6, and 7.
7.
7. Oh, it's a really interesting question for you. If it were summer all years around, what do you think about this? If it were summer all years around, Tetiana Belarus, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Sergei. A very interesting question regarding summer, the all year. You know that I am now living in the island, and it is the country of the spring. The whole year we have the spring. It is not bad. It is, for me right now, it is interesting because I saw the flowers around me in December, in January, and also in June and July, whatever. But there is no fruits. We have a flower, but there is not a lot of time that this is the flower, or for example, like cherries or something else deliver the fruit for us. I think that when we will have the summer the all year, it is also will be good. The first what we can do, it is the save money for our clothes. No needs to have boots, no needs to have some coat. Just the sunproof cream. I don't know how it goes. Cream against sun, and also the just the t-shirts and shorts, and it will be enough. But also, I think that it can be the problem because, as in my opinion, when we don't have any obstacles, when we don't have any barriers, it is not lead us to develop. I think that you know that the Mr. Darwin said that the labor make from the animal, they make human from animal. And I think also for us, it is necessary to have some of barriers to develop. And exactly this is possibility to have a different seasons lead us to have the different different experience and develop our skills even in this ways that to have the to meet different people to provide our business and etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Tetiana. About the story of flowers, it's like an old joke from New York. The question is, when you have the first strawberry? The answer is at 7 o'clock. It's really simple. And who wants to be evaluator of Tetiana? Who wants to be this brave man or woman? No one. I see maybe Denis Semiriad, if he with us. Maybe Vladimír Ukrainец. Vladimír, can you give the evaluate for Tetiana?
Thank you. So no.
No, why? Why?
Okay.
No one. Eric, maybe you want to be.
Yeah. I'll do it here. Okay, so I liked how Tetiana sort of reflected on her own locale, and she said, "This is the area of spring, not summer." And I've been to Ireland before, and I don't think there is such a thing as summer on Ireland. You know, it's for me, it is basically spring there. It can't ever get hot enough for me to be called summer. So I think that was good. I like she used a nice phrase, and one I liked, you know, humans are from animals, which is true too. And then she got into the philosophical too. She talked about, like, you know, we have to have the other seasons so that we can appreciate the warm seasons, and that which gives us that, you know, acting the maggot feel, and that so we can't always have fun. It's kind of the philosophical reason why we say, why is there good and evil in the world? We have to have them both so that we can compare and reflect on each one of them over here. So very good job taking, you know, kind of a little bit of a tough question and pulling it together and hitting it from a lot of different angles. So her mind was firing in a lot of different areas. Good job, Tetiana, taking that on.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for your evaluation. And I also advise you use your vote, because you need to vote for a best table topic speaker or best evaluator. And as for me, all seasons is good or is bad. It's like a theater or interesting fairy tale about these seasons, and we acting in this fairy tale because we are human, and and all of the seasons is a mighty warrior or mighty magicians. And my table topic session is over. Thank you for your participate this session, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day deck. Thank you.
Come on, applaud. He was terrific. That's great. That was terrific. That was a good session, So listen, let's get on to the voting now. And to tell you all about the voting and all about going on to the chat, would you please welcome your Zoom master, who is Licia.
So guys, I just wanted to encourage you that now you can choose who was the best impromptu speaker and the best impromptu evaluator. It's even if you were participated in table topic session, don't worry, you still can vote for someone. So just few seconds more for your decision.
Could you give us 1 minute, please, Dmytro?
Yes.
So we want the best table topic speaker and we want the table topics evaluator. Maybe perhaps if Sergei could give us the table topics evaluators' names, please. No? Oh, yes, there you are, Sergei. Do you have the names written down, Sergei, by any chance?
They're all the names
on the
are
form.
in the forms. They are in the forms.
Oh, they are good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Clever girl. There we are. The time is up. One thing I notice about Dnipro Club, you don't register the use of the word of the day. Most clubs, you know, they go mad. Somebody mentions it, and it makes the screen look fantastic. and it gives a lot of fun and entertainment. And with the result, visitors, when they see fun and entertainment, they join immediately. So I'd like to see it. Let's the rest of the meeting. Anybody says grand? I've just said it. Grand. Nobody did. Come on. If I say grand, you go like that. Nobody does. No. Oh, good Lord. I'll have to do something about you. So let's get on to the technical reports. And the first technical report is the performance expert. You have up to 4 minutes, please. Natalie, tell us how we get on with the performances.
Well, I tried to organize my new stage because I have moved because of bad signal. So hope it looks remarkably for you and hope it looks like a role model trying to do that. Okay, let's evaluate you guys. I start evaluating, of course, our Toastmaster of the day, Cluskey, and he, of course, has prepared well to this meeting. So he had that background, and he is visible. He contrasts that background, so we can see him, and even the colors fit, and that is amazing. What would I suggest for you? A little bit, yes, and even the papers are of the same color. What would I suggest for you? Your head is a bit cut at the top when you're speaking. Yes, that's what I see. That's what I see on the screen. So a bit more like space under your head, and yeah, that's what I see on the screen. And what I like very much, of course, very natural and artistic vocal variety. That is also the part of the performance. The next participant was Oleksandr. I like that Oleksandr has prepared and he put that Toastmasters background. And that is also amazing, and that hasn't caused us think that something is messy and so on. What would I suggest? That to put to step back, makes one step behind, to make your arms visible, arms and hands, because they were cut a little bit. Well, the next one was our second speaker, Tetiana. I like that Tetiana also always has that nature background. So somewhere in the park, and it looks fresh, refreshing, and that hat, I also would like to mention it. However, I would suggest, guys, if you connect from the mobile phone, from the smartphone, put it not in the vertical position, but in the horizontal. It's not as hard, but those who connect from the laptops would see you better, and also those who connect from the smartphones would see you in more natural way. That is better. What would I suggest? Also, guys, if you join us from somewhere in the park, you might just fix some, put your phone, your mobile phone, somewhere on a bench or on some wall, I don't know, to make it fixed. I mean, not shaking, and make that step behind to have your elbows, to have your arms and hands visible, and have your gestures visible. Then the next speaker was Vladimír Záhradník. I like the background. When I've seen Vladimír participating, it was like, wow, that nature background, the gestures, eye contact, everything established contact with the audience. However, I also found something to suggest for you. You were like leaned a bit too towards the screen, so it would be better to move like a bit behind to have that straight position. And what I also liked, those pictures and the position of the screen with the screen where Vladimír was. We can see Vladimír. It was great because we could see everything, both pictures and Vladimír with his background. Then it was Suvajit. I like the gestures. I like that Suvajit was standing. He stood up for speaking. And that's always amazing when the online participant isn't sitting, but he or she is standing. And I liked vocal variety. It was very natural and lively. What I also liked, the eye contact. It's not very easy to maintain the eye contact, but you guys managed to do that, and Suvajit was one of you. And what would I suggest? The elbows were a bit cut. However, it's like a minor thing. Sergii Golovatyuk. Sergii has a very descriptive gestures. When he was evaluating Tetiana, he was showing all that and he had those special gestures, not just gestures and that's it, but they were really special, and that grabs attention. What would I suggest? Please try to establish eye contact, because you were looking at the screen, probably at yourself or the timer, I don't know. Try sometimes look into the eye of the camera. That would be more even more attention grabbing for the audience. Also, Sergii has that his special position in front of the camera. It's like that, like when elbows are up and sitting leaned toward the screen. I would suggest to to have more natural position. It also adds more to your to the picture. And also the elbows were cut. Never gestures were awesome, but elbows unfortunately were a bit cut. Eric, good natural gestures and mimics that assists what is said. However, eye contact, probably your camera is on the ceiling, but I'm not sure about that. So please, next time, that's the piece of advice I give to everyone here, because it's pretty hard to establish an eye contact with an eye of your camera, but not forget to do that, guys. And well, we couldn't see your arms and almost couldn't see your hands. So another thing, again, one step behind to be visible. Suvajit is a table topic speaker. He had an eye contact. He was lively, both voice and manner, but vertical position of the camera. Why vertical position? He was in the same venue, I guess. Liudmyla, both during grammarian presentation and table topics. Good eye contact, but not always, because sometimes eyes were looking in other direction, not always at the camera, but pretty good. Good mimics as usual, emotional, lively, and camera. Not only camera was vertical, it was also shaky. So please try to put it somewhere, not to so as it doesn't move. Sergii Radchenko. I like gestures, and I like I like vocal variety. It's not very fluctuative, but pretty good. And now, finally, at last, I can tell you, Sergii, why is your camera always vertical? Try to do that. It's always vertical, and it doesn't add you that like yeah. Okay, and not only camera. Yeah, that's awesome. And please put it like move it a little bit. Yes, yes, that's easy. That's easy, and you look great. You look great now. Thank you very much. Elias, live gestures, good voice, good manner. And Elias has his special shoulder posture. So we can see shoulders, but not always we can see gestures. So please try to choose another position. Maciej, well, I had problems with internet, but I managed to have a fast glance on the screen when Maciej was participating. I like that intelligent bookshelves background. It adds like, yes, it's pretty good background. It doesn't look like messy. Well, Maciej had good gestures, not many, but they were like assistive gestures. However, that he had that pyramid gesture like that. So, and
Nataly, I think
sorry?
you're way over time.
I think
4
so.
minutes.
So that's the last participant I'm talking about.
Timer?
Yeah.
What is 4 minutes for Nataly?
Well, I do see it in the agenda, but we haven't normally, timed the reports of the technical team. That's why I got carried away a bit.
Sorry, I just got 4 minutes here. Are you finished, Nataly, or you want to do another minute? Feel free.
I would take a few seconds if you don't mind. Okay, so and the next one was Olga. I like the background and gestures, and I have nothing to correct because almost everything was good. Tetiana Belows, I like the voice, I like mimics, but only the head was visible, so take more space for yourself. I think that's it for the first time. I was trying to provide you with pieces of advice, and well, now I'm ready to pass control to the Toastmaster of the day.
Lovely. Nataly, as we say in show business, that certainly shortened the summer. No, not funny. Eric, even you don't laugh. Okay. Just very quickly, Nataly, you must know about these things. Look, a little short tripod especially for cameras. And they're about $12 maybe on Amazon. You have Amazon in Ukraine, haven't you? You must have. And you can also use it as a selfie stick as well. So it's very worthwhile rather than propping it against a book or whatever, as people usually do. But let's get on another 4 minutes, and hopefully 4 minutes, because we were marvelous for time, and now we're way over time. So the next one is Grammarian for 4 minutes, and it's Liudmyla Kushch. Is Liudmyla there? Where is Liudmyla? Please unmute. Please unmute. Please unmute. Please Liudmyla. Can you hear us? Can you see us? You're talking away. Oh, there's a gentleman helping.
Lisa, could you unmute Liudmyla, please? Because I have no right to do that.
I am trying, but she still continue.
Liudmyla, Liudmyla. Hello, hello, Liudmyla.
Your
Liudmyla.
microphone.
I think включить звук.
There we are, there we are.
Oh,
There we
sorry.
are.
I'm terribly sorry. You know, I'm acting a maggot with technical device, guys. Terribly sorry. It's always like that.
4 minutes.
Well,
4 minutes, Liudmyla, please.
Yes, I'll try to be brief. So, what I really enjoyed about our meeting was your vivid usage of adjectives. So, I'm gonna start with a list of adjectives which I have written, because being an English teacher, I always recommend my dear students to use as more vivid adjectives as possible to make your speech sound natural and exciting to hear. So what we have: ridiculous, delightful, engaging from Oleksandr. Perfect. Countless and nasty from Tetiana. Terrific, terrible, amazing from Dak. Irish people are emotional. Entertaining from Eric. Cheerful from Olga. One more thing that I noticed, Tetiana Kiforishyna in her speech used the word useful 3 times. I didn't like that idea. And what I would suggest to replace it with one of 10 synonyms. Well, how you can replace useful? Functional, practical, helpful, handy, convenient, beneficial, applicable, constructive, effective, and productive. So you have a grand list of the words you can replace useful with. Now coming back to your grammar, guys. Oleksandr, great job, great grammar. Nothing. Tetiana, a long way on improving grammar. Just couple of things. Everything for him. He knew how to help his parents to keep everything that had to be kept. Who show, not who shows, because it was in general talking pronunciation of priest and pseudonym, okay, false name. Tetiana sounds like a real confident and positive speaker. That's why I hope that her grammar didn't impact her speech a lot, but I'm crazy English teacher, so it's my job, guys. What else? Vladimír. Well, Vladimír, your grammar was really simple. I would say that's why you didn't make a lot of mistakes, but time to times you had troubles with using past simple. Imagine. And the word area, you mispronounced it twice or something. And what's more, you had possibility to use grant to replace by lovely, beautiful, unforgettable. You did it at the end. So about our evaluators, and according the word and the phrase of the day, thanks very much. I was really impressed how the guys Suvajit, Sergii, Eric, and of course Dak did it. You inserted it into your speeches and it sounded really natural. What's more, I was really delightful to see Maciej. Maciej is my good friend from Poland. He's a history teacher, and he was a person who learned Ukrainian through English with us starting in 2022. So perfect. And your feedback, I think it's your first ever feedback. It was also grand. Thanks, everyone. I think that's it. Yes. Oh, and Elias, who used the word grant, of course, of course, of course. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Dak. Wish every one of us a blissful summer and grant time, of course.
Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. We've gone way. Nataly, I'm going to murder you because you put us way over time. We were doing terrific. But listen, let's get on very quickly in a time of 2 minutes, please, and keep it to 2 minutes. Vitaliy Blokhin, who's going to give us the counter report. On you go.
Thank you, Dick. As Sergei knows, I'm not a big fan of this role usually. Therefore, at the beginning, when we started, it was so clear, no crutch words and sounds, and I thought I can be lazy today and will not work at all. But the spells were broken. The first one was Sergei Golovatyuk, who broke the spells. I presume that he evaluated someone. He said 6 times air, several long sounds, a few repeated words, and the sound mm. Then Eric, despite of his professionalism, said way too many times so, like probably more than 6, 12 times, or 3 times, repetitive word like which is, one time, but that's it. Radchenko is a champion as always. He knows this probably. But that time Radchenko said 16 times, 8 times, and 5 times. Repetitive words is his like probably this card. Radchenko said thank you 8 times. Thank you, period. Silence. That's it. About repetitive words is very famous stuff with Sergei. Then our table topic session. Suvajit, super, very clear. Elios also. Marcier, when he evaluated Elios, I presume. So 3 times 3 times 9 times, 1 times, repetitive words like you, so 1 time. Then everything was good. Tetiana, evaluator of Olga, short a few times. Tetiana, belows 6 times, R 4 times, long sounds 3 times. Natalia Parubocha 6 times or M, R 9 times, long sounds 5 times, and 5 times. Liudmyla, the grammarian, 6 times, R 6 times, and 1 time. So 5 times, long 3 times. But in general, it was really great session. Very few crutch words and sounds. Thank you.
Lovely.
Dear.
Thank you very much, Sergei. That was terrific. And now the timer, please. Would you welcome our timer? Dmytro, Nazarenko.
Yes.
2 minutes, please.
All right. This time I'm going to be succinct because pretty much everybody managed to stick to the time frame. Well, there was a significant amount of people who did not do that, but I will walk through each and every one of you shortly. So starting with the prepared speeches, Oleksandr Myronchuk took 15 minutes and 23 seconds, and Vladimír Záhradník took 7 minutes and 15 seconds, which is slightly over time, but not enough to be disqualified. So that's a good thing. However, Tetiana, with her, although very engaging speech that I found very interesting to listen to, as somebody who likes Ivan Franko's poems, I found it very interesting. But you took 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Moving on to the evaluation session, all of them actually were over time. So Suvajit took 3 minutes and 10 seconds, Sergii Golovatyuk took 3 minutes and 47 seconds, and Helliwell took 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Moving on to the table topic session, All of the speakers managed to stay within the time frame. No disqualifications. If it were a competition, there wouldn't be any disqualifications. But if we get into the details, Suvajit took 1 minute and 50 seconds. Ilios took 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Olya Shapovaluk took 57 seconds. Tetiana Bilous took 2 minutes and 26 seconds. And the evaluations were also pretty much within the time frames, most of them. Liudmyla Kushch took 1 minute and 20 seconds. Maciej took 1 minute and 50 seconds. Tetiana Kiforishyna took 1 minute and 8 seconds. And Eric took 1 minute and 15 seconds. Thank you very much.
Lovely. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well, Alicia is not applauding at all. She doesn't like applauding. She doesn't like moving. I don't think you've got any arms, Alicia. Oh, yeah. But that was grand. And now let's get on to the Zoom master for the results of the TT, the table topic session. Alicia.
Thanks, Doug, for
1 minute, 1 minute, please, 1 minute.
Thanks, Doug, and thanks to all who participated in our today's table topic session. And today, actually, we have a few winners. As you understand, the best table topic speaker, it should be one, but today we have two. So congratulations to the Helios and to Olya. Well done job. And another our winners, it will be winner of impromptu evaluation. So, and congratulations to Eric. Eric, good job. Go ahead. Doug, I am finished.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. That was about 50 seconds. That was brilliant. That was terrific. So let's get on now. I will finish the show if you don't mind, Natalie, when you finish. And Natalie, I'd like to introduce you now for 5 minutes, your area director, Nataly Parubocha.
Parubocha.
Bucha.
Yes, it's very hard even for the Ukrainians to read my surname.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Thank you very much. I would like to thank everyone. I would like to thank everyone who has prepared this meeting and who attended it and who spent his or her time with us. First of all, I would like to say that we are so grateful to our member from the UK, to Doug Cluskey, to our today's Toastmaster of the day, and please give a round of applause. You might also unmute yourself and make it and make us hear that. So
you won't hear it. You won't hear it.
All right. So thank you very much for conducting this meeting and for spreading your energy, sharing it with us, and making us feel like it is summer. Like what is summer like in the UK? Probably it's as warm as it is now in Kyiv. I don't know. Also, I would like to thank to Lisa who helped to prepare this meeting, who has also who was like that person who is in charge of everything, to all three speakers, to all three evaluators, and to our table topics master, who, even if Sergii is not the part of our club, but he already knows how to run table topic sessions online with Dnipro Hills. That is amazing. And thanks everyone for preparing well, for participating. And I must say that our next online meeting is going to be in a month. I think it is on the 28th of July, but it might move 1 week earlier. We'll decide and announce it. Also, we are going to have a joint online meeting with one of the German clubs. It's in August. So it's also going to be something special. So if guys, if you would like to assign for some role, so please contact me or contact new officer team we have announced. So it might be our new president, Olga Shapovaluk, or our, also you can
I think some technical issues with Nataly. So she told that about there is some problems with with internet because of blackout and all other things in Ukraine. So I will just continue. Yeah, for best Odesa speakers, Sergii, Radchenko, you can tell to all of us that almost every Sunday, each Sunday, they continue to gather online meetings. So if you have time, please join our Odesa and help them to conduct this meeting in summer, because sometimes in summer it's hard to join, something like that. And about future plans for Dnipro Hills, Nataly mentioned that we are like in-person club mostly, but once per month we have online. So keep updates on our website and our social media, and you will know when we will make it. So Doug, I think it's almost we closing the meeting almost. So thanks again to everyone, and now we can start our
No. I have the proper finish. I have it all planned. It's all written down here. Look.
few more minutes.
What we haven't done, Alicia, normally in clubs, we always ask the guests what they thought. And I think we've only got one guest, Alicia, Elias. Elias, would you like to put yourself on screen, please? If you can, there we are.
Yes, hello
Elias.
there.
Yeah, are you a guest?
Oh, I have been to your club, so I'm not a guest. I am visiting Toastmasters.
Are you a member?
Yes, a member.
Oh, you're a member. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. So I don't think we've got any guests. So it just leaves me.
Machi is our guest.
Machi, where? There's Machi. Machi.
Yes.
In as quick as you can, 10 seconds. Because look at the time. We're 15 minutes over time. You're terrible. Terrible. Everybody talks too much in this club. Machi, what did you think of this fantastic meeting?
First of all, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Loud and clear.
Okay, so I fixed my issues with microphone. Okay. What I think, wonderful experience because it's not only about English, which I expected because Luda invited me here. It's also about performance in front of audience. Yes, lots of practical information for such a short meeting. Quite useful. Nice opportunity to practice how to setting speech on the fly, which is very often it's difficult for speakers not being native English speakers. So I'm amazed.
So all you have to do is get to your bank and just pay for to join this club. It's very, very simple. And the person to get in touch with is probably Nataly. Probably. Just chat to Nataly. Join the club. I did, and it's a fantastic club. And I'll tell you something. This was a grand meeting. And these are grand members. And Dnipro is the grandest club in Toastmasters. From this Irishman, thank you for giving me the honor of being Toastmaster tonight. And as we always say, stay for the after party because that's the best part. And goodbye from me. Unmute. You can talk away.
Final photo, please, dear. Smile.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, photo. Okay.